From the network that brought you the Dro Bro Show and Remo's interviews, brings you the brand new Hot Tag with Grimex and Mr. Vicious. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Vicious, Remo Vinci, and we are back with another episode of The Hot Tag with my fellow Dro Bro Grim X over here. How you doing, my brother?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well, thank you. I'm also doing well. That's awesome. There's a lot of wrestling stuff that we kind of missed the last couple of weeks, so we got to catch everybody up on what's cracking.
I don't know about the last couple of weeks. We really only missed a week and a half, basically. We've only missed 2 Raws and 1 SmackDown since the
A lot
last
could
review.
happen in 2 Raws and a SmackDown.
I don't know. The stories really haven't been as stellar this for this upcoming pay-per-view. Some of it's good, but a lot of it is kind of meh. You know what I mean? And you're still kind of wondering because they're building up for a better PLE, right? This is just Bash at Berlin, so that we're leading up to. This isn't like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber or any of the like major PLEs, right? So the
I
storylines
don't
are
want to.
good.
I don't want to take it too lightly, though, because they've been taking a pretty big stand on their international PLEs this whole year. So I have the estimation that it's still going to be a badass show and it's going to be, spectacular. So,
See, and I'm not saying that it's not going to be. I just feel like what they're doing right now is
hmm
intentional as the calm before the storm before they jump ship to Netflix, which is about to happen. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're
Yep.
not trying to put like really ratings boosting shit out there right now because they're about to move brands. And when they do that, then they're going to drop all their really good shit. So
hmm
no, I don't feel like they're doing like excellent storylines right now. Like I said, I feel like they're doing that intentionally to give you some kind of build up until they switch, and then they're gonna just start dropping crazy storylines and stuff probably, and it's gonna
Yeah, no
get
doubt.
back to the either attitude or the ruthless aggression eras.
Yep, like a new updated version of maybe a mix of the two. That'd be kind of cool.
Now, since it's been a while, I kind of forgot some of the stuff, but we're gonna start with SmackDown before Raw because Raw is obviously after SmackDown, so we'll just skip the last week, but these are the same storylines that have been building since the last week that we didn't cover. Um, starting off with but I don't remember what the order of the night was, but
hmm
we'll just start off with this. Okay, so A Town Down Under, they tried to uh, they tried to attack the what's his face KO, and Cody Rhodes came out because KO had a fight with Austin Theory, I think it was. Maybe it was
Yeah.
Grayson Waller. I don't really remember it because it's been about a week. Either way, because it was a DQ, them dudes started double teaming KO, and the ref rang the bell. They started grabbing chairs, and they were gonna fuck him up. And obviously, Cody comes out, and Cody drops the belt, and in the squabble, and when he's standing there looking at KO, and he sees his belt on the ground. They both reach for it, but KO grabs it first. So Cody's kind of like, you know. And then
hmm
they look at each other. And KO looks at the belt and he hands it to him. So then you're kind of like, oh shit, okay, because they're gonna fight. Remember, I was saying in the previous that he offered KO the number one contendership, and KO wasn't gonna take it till they were gonna offer it to Roman. So that happened. Um, then Nia Jax had a celebration for her championship held by Tiffany Stratton and pretty deadly. And so obviously they tried to do their Pretty Deadly the musical. So I don't know if I've mentioned it on here. These guys every freaking week on SmackDown for I don't know over a month. They keep saying, "Oh, be on the lookout for Pretty Deadly the musical," and then So they say that they're gonna give you a sample of it after like Naya's basically telling them they're all gonna bow to her because she's the queen and she's the champion, and including Tiffany, that she feels like it would make a good example to everyone else if she bows down to her. She's like, and the boys too. And then the boys are like, well, we're gonna give you a sample of Pretty Deadly, the musical. They sing a song. Then Mi Chin comes out and starts beating the hell out of everyone with the freaking kendo stick. It's badass, right? And you hear Tiffany in the background of the camera screaming, "You're ruining our celebration! You're destroying our celebration!" And because she's basically telling Naya, that I'm not the same Michin you thought I was, or that I used to be. So, anyways, that's going down, and then
I
the
wish she
street.
was still Mia Yim. I don't like the name Michin. It drives me nuts, kind of.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but because she's been both, and then she was also the hell was her name? She was in that other group, the fucking
Retribution.
yeah.
She was the Reckoning or something, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was, the reckoning. So, anyways, the Street Profits they fight the DIY, and they won the #1 contendership for the titles at Bash at Berlin against the Bloodline.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's dope. Oh yeah, Andrade fought Carmelo, and Carmelo won.
They're still
Uh,
doing Andrade and Carmelo, huh?
yeah, because somebody came out and interfered. So that's how Carmelo was able to win. Um, I can't remember who it was right now off the top of my head. Uh, I don't know why I don't remember. But anyways, and I knew this happened. They had the tag team champs in a what was it? It was like a tornado tag triple threat match. It was damage control with the tag champs, Isla Dawn and
Alba
Isla,
Fire or something.
yeah, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. That's who it is. And they were fighting also Bianca Belair and what's her face? Oh
Jade.
no, this was a triple threat tag match, 3-on-3. So it was Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus the tag champs. And fuck, I can't remember that girl's name who's been interfering. I know it, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But in here, I think that the match ended up being a win with the tag champs because I think there was interference in this. I can't really remember, man. Sorry on this one. No,
It's
because
hard
like
to.
I said, some of this stuff was less than stellar. I mean, I wasn't
Yeah.
really. I was kind of like, what the hell? And I get it because the buildup was for the main event of the night, which was dope as hell, dude. And Solo comes out and he calls out Roman. He's like, "You want this Ula Fala? Then you need to come out and take it." And obviously the new jam hits, and he comes out and it's fucking badass because he just smashed the Bloodline the week before. And I mean, he smashed. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about it. They smashed the shit out of him the week before, like with fucking stairs and chairs, beat the shit out of all of them, right? And then they saved Solo. So for saving Solo from the spear, dude, he smashed fucking what's his face? The other brother, not Tamatonga Tongaloa. He smashed the shit out of him for pulling Samoa out of the ring. Because again, Jacob Fatu's been hurt since the last pay-per-view when I said that he hurt his leg jumping off and hitting the table.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he wasn't there that night, and Roman smashed the whole bloodline, and it was badass. And so, anyways, this night Roman comes out, and Tongaloa is not there because fucking Roman smashed the shit out of him on the week before. So this night it's only Tama Tonga and Solo. And so anyways, Roman he punks them both, and then he fucking does a Superman punch to Solo after they're going blow to blow after he fucking punks Tama Tonga. And after they're going blow to blow, Roman runs in the ropes and whack the Superman punch, and everyone goes wild, and then he does the whole ooh ah before he
Mhm.
spears his ass. And this time he gets him because he didn't get him the week before. So when he spears his ass, he's getting ready to fucking pick up the Ulafala. He's looking at it, and then he's holding it. He goes and he puts it on. It's like the power hit him, right? Fucking Jacob Fatu kicked him right in the mouth. Dude, he's wearing a fucking foot cast on, like it came out of fucking nowhere. Swear, dude. All eyes on Roman, dude. And he's all like this, and he's like the power. It reminded me of the Ultimate Warrior, you know, like when he's asking for the power from the gods. No, I swear, dude, when he put this thing on, it was like you could feel the power, like what The Rock says about feeling the electricity. And so you're just paying attention to this, and what? He's on the ground. You're like, what the fuck? And this dude just side kicked him, right? Super kicked him in the chops. And they just start beating the shit out of him. And Solo gets up and he starts telling him to do the shit. And they take him out of the ring and they do their triple power bomb, you know, where all three of them hoist him up and throw him to the table, the shit that they've been doing to everybody.
That's the old school shield. That's the old school shield spot. Remember? That's the Roman spot.
Yeah, so they drag him back in the ring and he fucking puts the Ulafala back on. And well, Jacob hands it to him. And then they stand there and they stand over Roman and they do the fucking one, you know, we the ones, even though that's the Uso shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how SmackDown ended. So
that's pretty cool. That's a good ending. I like it. So what happened on Raw the next week?
Oh yeah, but I want to mention because dude, I don't want to overlook everything because there are some good shit. Like I said, dude, I like DIY. I love the Street Profits, but ever since Lashley hasn't been in the picture and they put BFAB, the Street Profits have been sending it. You know what I mean? They haven't really been doing good the year before, but now they're definitely fucking tag team competitors. And when they won the #1 contendership, DIY met them in the back and they're like, look, you know, we want to shake your hands. That was a good match. We put on a good match. And we just want to say, you know, if you guys win those tag titles, we want a shot. And they're like, cool. We get them tag titles and you got the rematch. So that's pretty dope. I love that storyline because DIY, they're way underrated. So are the Street Profits.
I have a hard time with DIY. I think I need to see more stuff. What I have seen, it's been kind of hit or miss for me. I think it's Johnny Gargano. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is about that dude.
Well, because of that whole Austin Theory shit and all of them guys, I didn't really want to give him a chance. It wasn't until R-Truth started fucking calling these two Triple H and fucking Shawn Michaels DX, and they even did a DX DIY gear, which was sick. And they did a DX entrance. It was so sick doing Shawn and Triple H. So
that's the only thing that I do like about this whole new pairing them again. Because I mean, they paired them together how many times already? You know what I mean? So I like the dudes as like people, you know, like they're cool dudes, you know, individually and whatnot. But Johnny Gargano's character, man, is just really tough for me. I like Ciampa because he's unpredictable and he's crazy, and I like when he's a bad guy. I like all that shit. But Gargano, I just have a hard time. I have a hard time with his wife too. They're both a little hard for me to suspend my disbelief, I think.
oh no, so that was okay. So yeah, that did happen on SmackDown. So something else happened. So that's why I got confused. And again, we didn't do a week. Okay, so going to Raw. Okay, first of all, Pat McAfee's last Raw for until he says about January or so, January, February. Obviously he's gonna go take care of his NFL stuff now. So at the beginning of the show, they announced that, and anyways, what happens is then you have, this is why I got confused about the Alba Fire and Isla Dawn match, because there was a triple threat match with Damage Control and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the titles, and it happened on Raw. Okay. And they ended up retaining because their fucking homegirl came out and interfered, so they ended up fucking winning. You know what I mean? Due to the interference. I can't think of her name right now. I don't know why. She's fucking been big on NXT, so she hasn't really been on the main roster because obviously the tag champs are still NXT too, but because they're the tag champs, they can go to all three shows because this is the women's tag team championships, right?
I guess I didn't realize that they were on NXT also. I thought they were all on the main roster. So there's not separate women's tag titles for NXT and for the main roster? I thought there was.
There is, but to be honest, dude, that shit, it just don't make sense to me because they fucked around on NXT I don't know, a couple weeks ago or the week before or some shit, and then so and I think I remember them getting drafted. I remember all that shit. But see, like Lyra Valkyria, fucking Braun Breaker, all these other people that got and Carmelo Hayes that got drafted at the same time as them, they've been on the programming. They've been doing shit. These two, they didn't fucking do shit until they won the titles at the Scotland one, right?
Yeah.
Because they're Scottish. So obviously somebody from Scotland had to win that night there to help bring in some kind of fucking momentum, in the country. Um, Not that I'm saying anything, I'm just saying that really they hadn't done anything until that point, and then they gave them the title, so that was kind of a shocker for me because you hadn't really seen it.
No.
Now that there's a chance, they really weren't doing anything until the last few, like with this last feud.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. I haven't seen much of them at all to have a very good opinion on either girl right now. So I couldn't even tell you which one is which. I don't even know the difference between them,
Then
and
they
that's my
won.
fault. So I apologize. I don't mean to sound like a dick or anything like that, but I haven't really been able to watch many highlights these last couple of weeks. It's been strange. You said that the shows have been lackluster. Well, I haven't even really been able to pay much attention to anything that's been happening. So it's been kind of weird anyway.
So I think Priest was out there to wrestle Dominic, I think is what it was. I think they finally had a fucking beef in the back, and Dominic, oh yeah, because remember so we didn't talk about it. The Monday before, Rhea's out in the ring calling out them, Liv and Dominic, and fucking
Is that when
Liv's
her and
voice.
Priest kind of beat up everybody?
Yeah. So
So this last week it was kind of the opposite, right? Where they got their comeback.
yeah,
Because
so
I
they beat
I
the hell
remember
out of
seeing.
Dominic and Liv.
Go
That's
ahead,
what's
tell me about
bringing this. That's what's bringing this tag match at Bash in Berlin, right? It's gonna be a fucking dual tag match where it's gonna be Rhea and Damien. They're calling them the Terror Twins right now.
it. Yeah, I
The
kind of like that.
announcers are. The two wrestlers haven't called themselves that. The announcers are calling them the Terror Twins. So I'm just putting
Yeah,
that out there.
I
Okay,
like
and then
that.
we got the Judgment Day with Dominic and Liv. They're gonna face off against them at Bash in Berlin. So
I like that.
last week Rhea's calling him out. Then you hear Liv's voice on the fucking microphone. And she's all looking all over, and then you see him up in the audience, kind of like with the CM Punk Drew McIntyre shit.
Hmm.
And they're over there talking their shit, and she's like, I'm glad that you love the sound of your own voice because it helped us find you. And they're like, what? And Damien's just standing behind him, and they copied it to this one scene that the Undertaker did when he's in the biker era, when he has short hair. He's the American Badass. I can't remember who it is. They're standing in the crowd, and I seen the photo, and they compare them side by side, and it looks so cool because Damian Priest is an Undertaker guy, so it's fucking cool to see both pictures side by side of Undertaker with the other dude, and then Priest behind these two, and it looks so cool. Um, Anyways,
Priest is
Priest beats the hell out of Dominic all the way down to the ring, and Liv's chasing him down there, and that's where she gets fucked up trying to save Dominic, and then they both get fucked up. And so this week, Priest is fighting Dominic, and Dominic's like, I'm a man, and I'm not the fucking kid you thought I was, and I'm not the same Dom that you've been friends with or that you've been hanging with and shit, and I'm not that same kid. And so he's like, all right, we'll wrestle. So they're wrestling, and it doesn't turn out to be a fair match. Judgment Day comes out basically to jump Priest, and Rhea comes out to try to save him, and obviously they both just get fucked up. Okay, which I feel like this is meant to happen because they usually do this stuff, and that's showing that Priest and Ripley are probably going to win, which is going to put them over, right? Because you got to build up these heels, bashing them down for them to have something to come against. You know,
yeah.
not only they both get cost their titles or their title shot and all of that at the last pay per view, but then they got betrayed by their whole group. Now they're getting punked week after week, except for 1 week, really. And so you're gonna have something to overcome. I think they're setting it up for these two to have a good heel or a babyface push. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that was cool. Um, I know. What are your feelings on it? I know you like Dom, but
I do like Dom and I do like Liv. So like I'm very much in favor of that whole angle there, and that storyline. I'm not a big Priest dude, but I do feel like this was probably necessary for his character. So I'm hoping that it does more for him. Um, he's still really fucking hard to digest for me. You know what I mean? Like he just seems so disingenuous and so awkward and oh my god, I can't. Even the way he walks, bro. I'm like, it's like his freaking the the legs are too short or something for his body. I don't know what it is, bro. Something's up. He just looks funky to me all the time.
I
So
feel like
anyway,
this is what he needs in his career for him to get pushed because the group thing was holding him back. I feel like, and it's like what Rollins said. You don't need the group, dude. That's what's holding you back. You'll be more successful on your own. I think that's the case with Damian Priest for sure.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
uh, I think he needed the group to get there, though. You know what I mean? I think before that he was very lackluster. I think the group definitely took him to a whole new height, and then now, it's like he could fly on his own. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But the group now without them, I like it. It has like a whole new dynamic and a whole new feel to it. It feels like what's old is new again. So I like that. I think you're right though about what's going to happen. I think Dom and Liv are going to somehow end up putting Damien and Rhea over. But I kind of hope they don't. I kind of hope they continue their role. You know what I mean? Because they're bastard fucking heels. You know what I mean? They're the ones that'll pull the fucking quick one on you and shit. Like we keep talking about how Dom's like Eddie. You know what I mean? Then Eddie would lie, cheat, and steal. So I'm hoping that they pull some shit like that. I'm hoping some shit like that happens, and Dom's like, hey, I would like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like something cool like that, bro. And because I like to see Priest pissed off and fucking sad at the end of this shit. Like, damn, that makes me happy when that happens. So I think I would put my chips in that basket. Hopefully, see what
So I did
happens.
skip something, dude. But again, I don't know how to feel about this. Part of me's kind of tired of it, and somewhat kind of like it. I don't know yet. It's the fucking what's his face, the guy who does the tsunami.
Oh, the
Bronson
fucking
Reed. Yeah. So he faced off against the Miz because oh yeah, I didn't say. So last week he fucked up R-Truth and he did the tsunamis to R-Truth like he did to fucking Seth Rollins the week before.
I
So
was gonna
this is
say
the
you
part.
got Rollins too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the part I'm kind of like, well, what the hell? You're just using this guy to fucking give everyone on the roster a break, or what the hell? Like, what the hell's the gimmick, and who the hell are you building up to fucking come tear down this fucking rhinoceros of a man, right? So he gets Miz, and he fucking punks Miz, and he beats Miz. Miz puts up a good fight, though, dude. And this is a fucking no disqualification. I don't think that's what it's called, though. Maybe it was. Um, anyways. Miz asked for it that way. So Miz is right away using weapons and shit. It looked like he could stand a chance. But then he fucking does something to Bronson. Bronson's like, don't make me mad. And he fucking, at that point, starts fucking Miz up. He does the tsunamis. And he does another one. And as he goes up to do another one, it's all these dumb fucks standing there like they don't know what to do. Like they can't pull his ass out of the way fast enough, right? And song hits and everyone starts cheering and it's fucking Braun Strowman fucking comes out, come get these hands. And he comes out and they start fucking brawling. So now Bronson Reed has sworn to start making his life hell, afterwards. But Braun Strowman says the reason why he was there is because R-Truth made a phone call to him and told him to help him out, take out the Bronson Reed problem and help protect Miz. So that's kind of like this whole thing and why that happened. So there was at least an answer and things are starting to transpire now. So just wanted to
Yeah,
say that since I skipped over it.
that's kind of strange. I like I like that they're putting over Bronson Reed because I know they've kind of tried with him a couple times already. So I like that they're giving him the strong monster push. I think that's what he needed from the beginning. I feel like they're doing a lot of damage control themselves with him. So I guess we'll find out. I like how they're trying to put over that move too. I feel like when they're protecting it that strongly, it's usually for a good reason. So we'll see. We'll see if he's sustainable. But to me, I feel like he needs. I don't know if it's a mask. I don't know if he needs like some kind of face paint. I don't know if he needs like a mouthpiece. Like a manager. I don't know. I feel like he needs something. I feel like he's just not clicking by himself. You know what I mean? I feel like there needs
What
to
he
be some
needs,
kind
dude, is a different attire. I don't like the fucking singlets for the big dudes that are the fucking diaper looking singlets. And for him, especially with this new all black on black and the flames are a shinier black, they have this weird one on his ass crack that makes him look like he has fucking swamp ass. It's like a fucking sweat stain, but it's supposed to be a fucking shiny black flame. But they put it like right above his ass crack, and it looks so fucking weird when he wrestles. And I just feel
what do you
like
think it should be?
he should be, I don't know, like if you're gonna fucking copy Bam Bam's attire, then why not fucking wear Bam Bam's attire? Why wear the fucking low cut, fucking super low cut fucking singlet with the fucking diaper look? You know what I mean? Like I just don't get why all the big guys do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not do something different? And
I,
because
I like the idea of doing something different, and us being the gamers and like you being the figured kind of guy, like this topic kind of intrigues me. Like, if we were to switch the attire, just like hypothetically, you know what I mean? Like what could it be and what would be better and what might work, But
dude,
I
even if you went to like how AOP is, like a pants and a fucking shirt attire of some
that's,
kind, dude, he would
that's
fucking
what I was thinking too. But you don't want to like. If you go the same route, then that's three big giant dudes that are looking the same. You know what I mean? So obviously they couldn't do the
but
exact same
see, I
thing.
wouldn't think of him to wear like the military type tactical pants. I would think more like the tights. So do like fucking Bam Bam, like I said, legitimately have like a tight shirt with tight pants instead of wearing like what he's wearing. I get you're showing off your tats or something, or just do no shirt. Fuck it, dude. Let the belly hang out and just
Mm.
wear tights or shorts or something. But
What
anyways,
what about like the full singlet, like Vader or something?
see that's like Bam Bam too, except for Bam Bam's covered more of his neck and his arms. But that's what I'm saying is something like that, not like how he's doing it. I just feel like too many of the big, like Otis, all them dudes. It fucking reminds me of Earthquake and fucking Tugboat and
Mm.
guys like that. Like, why do all the big guys have to dress like that? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No,
It's just like a
you're
typical.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's why I kind of like that. I like that topic. Maybe that could be another little segment or something that we could do on the hot tag here. Is what if we were to switch the attires or something? You know what I mean?
But we got to talk about the next segment, like Mussolini. So CM Punk comes out and he basically tells Drew McIntyre, you've been in my head and stuff, and you're carrying around my bracelet, and I'm going to get it back, but I'm going to make you suffer. He's like, and I already talked to Adam Pearce, so unless you're scared, he's like, I got us arranged for a strap match, and he's holding the strap up, right? He's like, so you're going to be chained in the ring with me. And Drew comes out, and he's basically like, dude, and I'm saying this with all seriousness, but are you drinking? He says, because have you seen me? He says, you really want to be locked in a ring chained to me? Basically go at it. And so it's decided that Basher Berlin, he's going to take him on and they're going to fucking be in a strap match, right? CM Punk's vowing to get his bracelet back and beat the hell out of Drew McIntyre. That's what his goal is because he said that he was going to leave it alone. But the thing was, the dude wanted to make it personal when he wanted to say, I heard you and I prayed for it. And when he was saying that, he's like, all right, so now that you wanted to make it personal, that's why I started making it personal against you. You know what I mean? So that's what this whole feud's about. So
I like like that they're taking a bracelet and making it like this huge thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's expert storytelling in wrestling. You know what I mean? Where you could take something as minimal as a child's bracelet, and it become like the object of you know, whatever endearment or whatever you want to call it. Pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, I forgot about that, dude. Fuck. Can't believe I skipped over it. So, anyways, Sami Zayn got his fucking rematch against Braun Breaker, and this was a fucking 2 out of 3 falls. And I haven't. This is a PLE match on a fucking Raw, dude. And let's just say I haven't really remembered seeing a 2 out of 3 falls in a minute, dude, since like the John Morrison and Dolph Ziggler days, right? And this shit, it was a good ass match, dude. It went back and forth, and Zayn got the first fall, and Braun got the second one, and after that, you basically knew it was going to be over. And Braun beats the hell out of him. But for the first time, they stand there and they stare at each other like with the sign of respect. You don't shake his hand or nothing, but he doesn't talk shit, doesn't shove him or hurt him. You know, they just kind of stare at each other like, you know, and so really cool thing. But I wanted to rush through that to get to the because there's 2 more things. Next thing is, dude, what I've been waiting for, and the build up's cool. I don't know, man. So, anyways, with the Alpha Academy fighting American Made now, Chad Gable's new fucking crew with the Creed brothers, and fuck, I can't remember her name either right now, off the top of my head, but she fucking punked. She was acting like I can't think of her name either.
Oh, you're killing me, Grim. You're killing me.
Because I don't see him a lot. Oh yeah, New Day beat fucking Karrion Cross in the fucking AOP, and that shit's looking like that's gonna come to a head because Xavier Woods tells Kofi that the reason why he don't like it is because he feels like you're trying to replace Big E with Odyssey, and I don't want to do that. He's like, no, man, that ain't what it is. But then in the match, when he tags Odyssey and Odyssey gets the win, you could see like the disappointment on Xavier's face. So that shit's starting to happen, but they're saying that the new day has a new day ahead and that final testament's behind them and all that shit, which hopefully because I'm tired of seeing that whole feud, honestly, at this point. But
Well, I like that
but
they all got something to do at least. You know what I mean? Even if it's bullshit and whatever, like, you know, all those guys are good. You know, the AOP, I don't really have much of an opinion on right now, but the rest of those guys are all really good performers, and they need to be seen at least somewhere doing something. You know, because they were on the sidelines for a long time, like fucking Karrion Cross, man. That dude, I've been waiting for them to pull the trigger on that dude for a minute,
yeah.
and who knows, you know. And this Odyssey Jones, man, this guy seems like pretty freaking awesome. So I'm
So for
excited.
those out there that I can't remember the fucking tag team champions homegirl, it's Blair fucking Davenport who's been fucking interfering constantly. Okay, that's who it is.
Okay.
Trying to look them up right here on the roster because I fucking hate that I don't remember their names off the top of my head and I feel bad. Um, Ivy Nile, okay. She's faced what's her face? What's the name of the chick in the Alpha Academy?
Maxine Dupree.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so anyways, Niall's been with the Creed brothers, and then when they were trying to fucking talk with her, because Ivy's been friends with her, Maxine, and all of a sudden she attacked them last week. Okay, and this is when uh, the Wyatt Six showed up, and fucking Uncle Howdy gives Chad Gable a fucking Sister Abigail. Okay, and so
Yeah.
anyways, so because of that shit, this week Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile are gonna face each other. Well, the Creed brothers come in, dude, and they're about to punk Maxine. And of course, when they come in, because Chad's telling them to go in, song hits, and out of nowhere, there's fucking they're calling her Abby the Witch now. It's not Sister Abigail. Okay, it's Abby the Witch. And Nikki Cross. She jumps off the top rope. And all of a sudden, as the Creeds go in there to try to get her, um, you see the Wyatt Six up on the ring. except for Uncle Howdy. So they're all up there. They're already in the ring and they're fighting. So all these people are fighting in the ring, and all of a sudden, there's fucking Uncle Howdy, and he gets Chad, and he fucking does the sister Abigail, and there they are standing over him again. So then that's where they're at with that. Cool that it's coming to a head. I can't wait to see more of it. Hopefully at Bash at Berlin, they finally let it go to a full head, right? Maybe a mixed tornado tag or some shit, right? 4-on-4. Um, so anyways, getting into the main event, it's fucking Randy Orton versus Ludwig Kaiser, because him and Gunther are about to fight at Bash at Berlin for the title, and Gunther sends his crony fucking Ludwig Kaiser, and he does that same shit he did to Sheamus. Oh yeah, and that shit goes on too. With Pete Dunne and Sheamus are still going at it, right? I think Sheamus won, but I think it was by disqualification or something like that. So anyways, what I'm thinking that feud's about with Pete Dunne before we get into this is that he blames Sheamus over him being called Butch. He said something about it on social media, how he hates that name and he never wants to be called Butch again. Right. And that nickname was given to him by Sheamus, and he blames him for even being called that. So I think a lot of it has to do with maybe that. Maybe. I don't know. They haven't really said anything, but this is my speculation.
Well, that's interesting.
But getting back to this main event, Ludwig Kaiser, he starts fucking working Randy Orton's knee, the same knee that he was out on injury from fucking King of the Ring, right? And anyways, he does the 10 beatings and all that shit to Orton and stuff. And obviously this scrawny little bastard, he's putting a beating on Randy Orton. But Orton gets him, does the fucking DDT and all that shit. And he misses the first RKO because the dude blocks it. But Orton recovers and he fucking nails him with the second one. And after he wins, fucking who comes in and they stare at each other. They just start going at it. Gunther,
Yeah.
And so the show ends after Orton, I think, knocks him out of the ring or whatever,
He's holding the belt.
No, I don't think Orton holds the belt, but Gunther like getting up all pissed off. You know what I mean?
I saw a meme on something where Gunther was on the ground on the apron and Randy was holding the belt. And they were saying, could we be looking at the next 15-time champ or whatever they said?
But that was because that was from the week before, I think, because
Okay.
Randy had RKO'd Gunther. This time, Gunther got out of the ring, but Randy's standing in the ring as Gunther's leaving this time because Gunther told him that you always said, and everyone says that it comes out of nowhere and you got me. But now I know better and you'll never get me again. Right?
Mhm.
It's basically what he told him. And so at this point in the match, when these two are fighting, because he tells him that at the beginning of the night. So at the point where they're fighting and he comes in and Randy goes for the RKO, he fucking dips out, right? Basically, what ended up happening here. So
That's dope, man. I really like this feud. I like, Orton's easily gonna be, when it's all said and done, I think Orton's gonna be one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. I think Randy's amazing. I think he's in the best shape of his life right now, and he could go another 15 years right now, I bet, if he wanted to. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. And Gunther's just cool as shit, man. I really like watching him just evolve more and more. And I think each feud. That's the cool part about wrestling, man. Is like each feud kind of helps, the guys just kind of level up that much more, especially when they're working with these vets like Randy. Like when you're working with one of the greatest of all time, you can only get better. So that's some cool shit. I'm excited for that match. That's gonna be a really good one. That's gonna be one of the ones I'm gonna be watching for sure.
stay tuned for next week because that'll be our prediction episode because that'll be the week of Bash at Berlin.
That's true. That is very true. And it'd be nice if we could get a hold of Nate the Great. That'd be cool if we can get him and get his predictions on it all. Maybe
Yeah, that'd be dope.
maybe we could have Doge get in touch with him and see.
Get him on our first hot tag guest.
Yeah, he would be our first hot tag guest. Oh shit, how about that?
No, Doge was on here.
Yeah, but he's he's part of the Dro Bros though. It's a little different. So is that where we're at now? Then are we up to date as far as what's going on with the shows?
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that being said, I definitely want to make sure we get into we lost a couple guys recently, a couple
Oh yeah,
couple.
Kevin Sullivan.
Well, we lost Kevin Sullivan last week, or I believe, and then we lost Alpha Anwai,
Yeah.
from the Wild Samoans. We just lost Sika a couple months ago in June, I believe, and then now we lost Alpha 2 months
Yeah.
later, brother. So first of all, Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan. My first exposure or whatever was with him as the in the Dungeon of Doom as the Taskmaster. Taskmaster. That was my first glimpse of him and his crazy little face paint and his crazy voice and the Dungeon of Doom itself was like at a time in wrestling history where WCW was trying desperately to do something like WWF, you know what I mean, and to like cater to kids and that younger cartoony type of an audience. So I feel like the Dungeon of Doom was their version of like a bad guy heel faction, like
The
whatever.
Dungeon of Doom was like the Legion of Doom from the DC fucking storyline, is what that reminded me of, which was big popular around the 70s and 80s. But
Okay.
one thing I found unique, very unique about Kevin Sullivan, and I actually had to look him up because I was like, the Taskmaster, that name sounds so familiar. I don't fucking remember that, but I remember the name Kevin Sullivan. So I looked up Taskmaster and I'm like, oh fuck, and I was watching videos of him. So, and it's what's unique about him was that he took his persona from Aleister Crowley, very iconic person from early 1900s for those that don't know, and he actually was a person who brought dark sex magic into the light again at that time period. He's not the one who brought it to the Western world. That was John Dee. But Aleister Crowley, who was a failed Rosicrucian, who was part of the order of the Golden Dawn. See, and this is why they teach not to teach outside of the order and even within the order. And he basically got his way to the top in a way that wasn't proper, that wasn't following the rules and procedures and the rituals. He went above people, and because of that was the fall of the Order of the Golden Dawn, essentially. Why it doesn't really exist anymore, but there are offshoots to it. But
Okay.
again, that he based his character off of Aleister Crowley, and it's so cool, honestly. That and
Hmm.
Anton Zander LaVey. If you watch any footage of either of these two men, you'll understand what I'm saying when you see Kevin. And that's why it works so good. That's why it was so evil and why it was so maniacal, because he's portraying these two outside of, Hitler. Okay.
Mhm.
These two men, two very dark, demented men in the history of culture as a
Hmm.
society.
I never knew that. That's very interesting. Thank you for schooling us all on that little nice little tidbit right there. That's good stuff. But like you said, he was like a very evil type gimmick. And they didn't see anything like that in wrestling for a long, forever, I don't think. So in Florida and like in the southern territories like that, southeastern territories, he became like a really big star. And by the time I first got exposed to him, like he had already kind of had his main run as a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like his time in the ring was already winding down. And then obviously he's known for being Nancy Benoit's first husband or whatever. Married to him first before Chris. And he was looked at. I want to say he was probably ridiculed a lot for booking his own divorce, they said. You know what I mean? Because he put himself in a feud with Chris Benoit and Nancy was involved in it. And, that's kind of what ended up happening. She ended up leaving him for Chris. So it was like art imitating life, imitating art. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So that was another big claim to fame for Kevin Sullivan. He was also one of the main minds behind a lot of the NWO booking ideas, because he was strong on the yes sir, he was strong on the booking committee there. So he's had quite the run. And then before, like I said, he had had his peak before I'd really seen him. So back in those days, he had even had um, he was in the varsity club, I believe, with
I haven't done it yet.
with Rick Steiner and with Mike Rotunda, some other guys that we've talked about, their kids on the show. So the varsity club was also like a pretty cool faction back in the day too, and he was a big dude in that. So, big ups to the Taskmaster. I know the wrestling world was really, really sad when we lost him. Uh, he was a really cool mind. I know he had a podcast that I wish I got a chance to listen to before he passed, but I'm definitely going to try to make a point to check it out now that he's gone. Um, I think I heard a piece of an episode one time because he was on Conan's show and he was talking about it, and that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna have to make a point to do that. So we miss you, Kevin. Thank you for all of your contributions to the business and to the culture. And Taskmaster will live on forever.
The hot tank. We definitely offer our condolences to the families at this time. And
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
with the bloodline story being one of the number one stories in wrestling today and has been for the last few years, to see them lose a few family members, I mean more than a few in the last few decades. Um, I definitely want to offer our condolences to those families because I mean to be out there to be on TV, be doing all this stuff, be in the spotlight like they are, and have to perform the way that they do, and go through these tragedies. Definite shout out to the Samoan families out there.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. And these guys that they lost too, Alpha and Sika, these dudes were like the guys. They were the godfathers of all Samoan wrestling. Like they were the dudes that everybody looked up to, everybody respected. Um, Alpha especially. Sika was the one that was Roman's dad, and I think he kind of traveled a different kind of road. He wasn't as hands on anymore, in his older age. But Alpha was. I think Alpha was very much involved the entire time, and his loss, just like Sika's, definitely rocked the family and rocked the culture and the world there. So,
Yeah, but
big ups.
before they presented the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, and remember they did. That's when he became the tribal chief.
Mhm.
There hadn't been anyone wearing it since Umaga. I didn't fucking realize that till today, actually. So, fun fact.
Wow. Well, that family is definitely. I heard it on another podcast, and I was thinking about it, and I really can't take it away from them. But I think they are the family now in wrestling. The Anawai family. I think
Like
the Hart.
Cody's song says, there's more than one royal family in wrestling.
Well, but in my estimation, for a long time, in my estimation, it was always the Harts. Like they
Yep.
were the family in wrestling. You know what I mean? But it's hard to not put the Anawais up there now.
Yeah, with the bloodline, dude, they're fucking. Let me just say, they were the most underrated family in wrestling until this bloodline
They
story.
were.
Let's just say that. And how crazy that the seeds were planted way back in the Attitude Era, at the end of the Attitude Era, starting into the new era, when freaking Rikishi, remember, he fucking ran Austin over with the fucking car, and he told him I was
Did
doing
it
it
for the
for us.
Rock.
He was, yeah, he saved The Rock, remember? And he told The Rock, I did it for you. I did it for us. I did it for our family. I did it for our people. And that was like, I mean, I know his dad or his grandfather, The Rock's grandfather, and the Anoa'i's great grandfather or their grandfather or whatever had made that blood pact or whatever, that blood is thicker than water, and that's how this whole bloodline thing originated. Okay, but I feel like the real bloodline took off with when Rikishi did that for The Rock, and that
No,
was where it was truly born.
that's good stuff. I agree with you 100%. I like that. Yeah, good shit right there. So, we miss you, Alpha. Thank you again for all of your contributions to the culture and to the business, and to all of those that you guys helped come up. I know both Kevin Sullivan and Alpha and Sika before him. Like, I know that they all helped a tremendous amount of talent come up and really find their way. So, thank you guys for all of that. Um, the business has been better because of you guys. So thank you. As far as the hot tag goes, I think we're caught up on all of our storylines until next week. Hopefully we don't have any more bad news in this next week. Hopefully we got some really good stuff to talk about. But I think that's it. I think we're about to tag out. I think that's the hot tag for this week, and we will catch y'all on the next one.
Yeah, this is Remo Vinci and 6 Grim X tagging out.
Tagging out.